Elon Musk has been asked about the nuclear threat that we currently face, and when answering this question, he talked about the stunning fact and situation that we are currently in the world regarding nuclear missiles. With that, he proposed a unique solution to all this mess and illustrated what the first days on Mars will look like. As you will see, it is mind-boggling. As Elon thinks, many people don't know what really is going on, and he explained why this is so dangerous and why Mars' mission is so important. Since becoming a multi-planetary civilization is such a big goal, Elon frequently gets asked about space-related updates and the biggest challenges that we face. And that's exactly what happened when Musk appeared at the National Academy's joint meeting of the Space Studies Board and Board on Physics and Astronomy, where he was asked why he strives to make Mars' mission possible as soon as he can. Elon said, "There's always good old nuclear Armageddon. That's one of the things that's not out of the question. A lot of nuclear missiles are pointed all at us in the US and many parts of the world. Percentage of risk, it's not zero." With that, while giving one more interview on the podcast of Lex Friedman in late December of 2021, Musk stated that regarding a Mars landing, the best case is about 5 years, worst case is 10 years. This is an ambitious plan, and one that means Musk and SpaceX really only have 3 chances within the next decade to launch test flights during moments where Earth and Mars are at their closest. Many within the space community have their doubts about Musk's plans, and are skeptical about the habitability of Mars in general. Though the red planet is relatively the same size as Earth, the high levels of radiation pose serious health risks to the future Mars explorers. Still, Musk insists that Mars is our best option for becoming an interplanetary species and escaping what seems to be an inevitable extinction of the human race due to global warming, war, or a multitude of other unforeseeable circumstances. In early February, Musk and SpaceX released a video that supposedly simulates what it will be like for future Mars travelers. The video, a 5-minute animated short reminiscent of the opening sequence of a science fiction thriller, was introduced during an update on SpaceX missions and future plans, the first official update from the company since 2019. In the update, Musk stated that, if all goes according to plan, SpaceX will launch the Starship on its first orbital flight, a milestone that is huge in getting closer to sending their rockets to Mars. In addition to setting a May 1st flight date, Musk also discussed engineering updates to the rocket, including a power boost from 6 Raptor engines to 9. The Super Heavy, a piece of the Starship rocket, will also jump up in power, going from 29 engines to 33. Should SpaceX be able to make good on their timelines, in addition to bringing the cost of the Mars transports down to about $1 million per flight, habiting Mars in the way Musk has envisioned might actually be more plausible than many skeptics are citing. By making the Starship shuttles readily and quickly reusable, SpaceX has found a way to efficiently cut production costs. Should all takeoffs and landings go well, the Starship would be flight ready every 6 to 8 hours, and the Super Heavy would be able to take off every hour or so. This would make it possible to run multiple payload missions per day, meaning that the overall cost of travel would eventually come down. It is likely that we won't see the full capabilities of the Starship and Super Heavy on display until NASA utilizes the shuttles for the Artemis moon missions, set to launch in 2025. But what exactly does this mean for Musk's Mars ambitions? Essentially, if all of these design updates are successful in addition to making Mars travel more affordable, these milestones put Musk and humankind closer and closer to achieving a viable habitat on the Martian surface. And as SpaceX gets closer to landing humans on Mars, Musk gets closer and closer to creating the interplanetary colony he has long been imagining. While Musk talks a lot about the general how-tos of going to Mars and creating a civilization there, he doesn't always specify what he envisions that civilization will look like. But perhaps the accompanying video simulation released on the same day as the SpaceX update has some helpful hints. Let's take a look at what information we can glean about Musk's ideal travel and habitation scenarios. The video opens with cinematic animations of a Starship rocket at dawn. It showcases the size and sleek appearance of the rocket before following it through a seamless launch into orbit. Once the rocket reaches orbit, the Super Heavy piece detaches and returns to the launch platform, while the Starship shuttle continues on the 2-year journey to Earth's little red neighbor. The video ends with the Starship landing successfully on a launch pad on the Martian surface, and a shot showcasing a cohort of spacesuit-clad explorers about to disembark from the vessel. While all of this, the flawless takeoffs and landings, a 2-year journey that passes as quickly as it does in the video, and an aesthetically pleasing spacesuit design, likely come as no surprise. It is the background information at the Mars landing site that provides the most insight. When the shuttle lands, it lands amongst one of many launch pads that have seemingly been constructed nearby the constructed habitat. This aligns well with the idea that multiple starships will be bound for Mars on a daily basis. In addition to having enough rockets to do multiple transports, the landing site must have enough bays to receive the number of incoming shuttles. These launch pads are assumedly made from materials gathered on Mars combined with materials brought from Earth. They may also double as refueling sites. All of SpaceX's Raptor's engines are powered by liquid oxygen and liquid methane, fuel sources that can be sourced directly from Mars. In addition to multiple launch pads, it appears that the habitat incorporates a greenhouse element, likely utilized to grow food for the people within the colony. Though it is unclear whether the growing materials are able to be sourced from Mars itself, there's a chance that further surface exploration and research could unveil fertilizing properties within the Martian soil. This element, the ability to create a renewable food source and to use agricultural means to do so, are truly essential to creating a colony on Mars that is self-sustaining. Perhaps this importance is also indicated by how it appears to be at the center of the community, indicating that the greenhouse and food resources are central to a successful interplanetary habitat. Though we very clearly see the greenhouse element in the simulation, it fails to display an image of what a home on Mars would look like. Instead of showing a close-up of someone's home, the community is represented by various lights, almost as if viewing a city from a bird's-eye view. Perhaps this indicates that Musk is still uncertain about what the houses on Mars will look like. There has been much debate about what the structure should be made out of and how, and whether they should be on the planet's surface or designed as an interconnected community of subterranean abodes. Some researchers at NASA are looking into fungi and mycelium as potential building materials, while others are looking at compounds found in exoskeletons of insects and crustaceans. For now, the Martian construction crews will have to stand by for further information. In addition to the launch pads and greenhouse setup, another interesting appearance in the video simulation is that of surface vehicles, seemingly en route to pick up the arriving crew. It can be assumed that these surface vehicles, as well as the spacesuits worn by the individuals in the shuttle, will be designed with surface exploration in mind. Due to the differences in Mars' atmosphere, paired with the intense radiation, inhabitants will need specialized breathing apparatuses along with radiation-resistant gear in order to safely roam the surface. Though there is still much to be discovered about what a future civilization on Mars will actually look like, it seems that SpaceX and Elon Musk are getting closer to realizing those visions day by day. With the Starship set to reach orbit later this year, it is only a matter of time before the shuttle is making its first journey to the fourth planet from the Sun. Through the eyes of the video simulation, we get a peek into what Elon Musk truly imagines a self-sustaining Martian colony could look like. Until the first group of Mars inhabitants gets ready to don their spacesuits and break ground on Earth's red neighbor, we will just have to keep living vicariously through Elon Musk's imagination. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time.